Hello there, today we'll be solving October-November paper 2. Okay, let's start with this. You work as an ICT consultant for the Dwara Beach Hotel. You're going to test a trial database to record and extract the payroll details for the employees in the company. Using a suitable software package, create a new database. So first of all, we have to import these three files in our database. As you can see over here, we have primary key as pay number, and in the NQL we have the code as an integer, which is primary key, and in NAT job we have the job as integer as a primary key. First of all, we need to import all these three tables and assign the following data types and the primary keys. Let's do that first. Right, so access, we'll use access for this. External to data, text file, browse. Desktop, G, this is where I've kept my file. You have to be sure where your supporting files actually are. First of all, let's import NAT employee. Right, delimited, first row contains the field names. Pay number needs to be the primary key. All of them are text, the last two are integers. Right, next, choose primary key, pay number has to be primary key, done. I'm sorry, I'm going a bit fast because this procedure we have done before as well. NAT QL, in this case the code is your primary key. So advance, we just check that. Long integer, text, numeric, 2 decimal places, we'll leave it as double, it's fine. So I repeat again, it says numeric, 2 decimal places. It does not say what the data type is, it simply says numeric. The integer, long integer, single, double, all are numeric. So whenever we have simple numeric, leave it as double. Next, code, and you finish. Next is your NAT job. NAT job. Here we have to do integer, text, and numeric. Integer, text, and numeric. The rate, right? And oops, it has to be job. Fine. We import it. Now what we have to do is provide an evidence of these three tables showing all of the data types. Make sure that the primary key are clearly visible. Please place your name, sender number, candidate number in the header. Save and print the evidence. So first of all, what we need to do is we need to go to design view, and first of all, this was your NAT employee. Okay, so we need to take a screenshot of this part, right, and we will simply screen shot showing the field names and the data types used for the table, and the table name was NAT. Y. This was the one, right? And the next two will be the same. Screenshot showing for the next two, which are your NAT job. Oops, but before we do this, let me just turn it off. We don't need this. We had to make NAT job, if you remember, hold on, NAT job 2 decimal places, rate had to be 2 decimal places, so we have to do this first, make NAT job 2 decimal places. Here we go. Next, init job, and the next one and the last one that we have to do is our another table, which is and equal, and in this case we have to make weight as two places. So here we go. Right, done with this part. Next, establish the following one-to-many relationships. Database tools, relationships, add all of them, and let's create relationship. Init code with branch code. That was extra text that came down there. Okay, we can give a heading over here. Relationships created. First one, and then we have to create for job and job code. Fine. You can even further describe over here what these two relationships are. You can even explain them. Right, done. And then you can take a screenshot of this entire thing, showing that actually you have created the relationship. Come here, and down here you can give a screenshot showing that you have actually created a relationship. Oops, I did it twice. Right? Fine. Next, provide an evidence screenshot of the relationships between these tables. Make sure there is an evidence of the relationship type. Place your name, center number, and candidate number. Relationship type, that evidence. So we do have an evidence that shows the relationship type over here and over here. Next part, sort. Okay, now select only full names, qualification, job description. Now basically starting from here, now we have to make a query. So first of all, what we do is we'll close this. Yes, create query design, add all of them. Now we have to select some specific fields. The full names. Oops, the full names. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, full names, qualification. Okay, qualification, job description. Okay, of all the employees where whose job description contains the word manager, you will need to use the description field to find this information. So if I run this, I have the following fields giving the information, but the question basically says I have to find out those fields, those descriptions that have the word manager. We have done wildcards before, and in order to do that, we have discussed this, but we have to use star or the asterisk manager. Okay, because it is the word manager. So what we do is we type star manager and star. Basically this means Star represents any amount of characters that are becoming before manager, and any characters coming after manager will be ignored. Only manager will be considered. So if I run this, I get only those descriptions where I have the word manager appearing. Sort this extract into ascending order of qualification. Add the title list of managers to this extract, not a report. Place your name, center number and country number in the header of this extract as save and print this extract. So what we have to do is, extract basically means we have to externally export this into Word, and in the header it says, because it says in the header, you can read the question again, it says place this in the header of this extract. So in the header of this extract I will place the name, the center number and the candidate number, right, and I will save it and close it. Right, next part. Okay, we're done with this part, we're done this part. You are going to prepare a summary report, okay, which probably will summarize the data, which identifies employees in some job categories for selected sites. So we will now make another query. Okay, we were supposed to save this. We can save it as list of managers. I'll save this query as list of managers so that we remember. Next, we make another query. Oops, sorry. Add, right. Select from all the records only the details of the employees where the qualification is this, this or this. Yes. So qualification should contain this or this or this or this. It means either this or this or this or this. You can't use this or for one field. This or is for this field or this field or this field or this field. Okay, next. Use this data to create cross-tab pivot table which shows description as row and qualification names in the column. Show the number of employees for each job type. So we have to use description as well. Okay, choose the number of employees for each job type. Right. Okay, right, done. Add the following title to the report. We will add this afterwards. Right. So now since we have this, we have to create a cross-tab pivot table where description will be in the row and the qualification will be in the column, and it will also show the number of employees of each job type. Right. Okay, so if I run this, I will get this. Right, but I need to show the number of employees for job type. Job code tells me the number of job code for this. Well, I don't actually have to use the job code. It's not important for us. No, let's simply save it as I'll save it as the same name. No, I'll save it as, yes. I'll go to create. I'll go to my query wizard. Simple. Okay. Oops. Sorry. I'll do it again. I'll go to query wizard. Cross tab. Okay. And from here I have to use my query, which is this one. Next. Okay, I have to add, I'm sorry, I think so I need to add the job code as well, because one has to be numeric. So I'll do it again. Wizard, cross tab, query, and I need to add okay, what row? Description as row. Next, and description as row and qualification as column. Qualification as column. Next, number, which means count. Next, finish. This is what we have, right? Just click, and here we go. Next, add the title this to this report, and place your name, center, candidate number, and take a print out of this. Save and print. So I'll go to create. I'll click on report. I have this. Oh, I already have that name at the top. This I already have it. I can adjust this or I can delete it. It's not important to have this. The important thing is it should fit on one page, and yes, I do. And it says place your name, center number, candidate number in the header of the report. So in the header of the report, which means design view, in the header of the report, I need to have, using the label, I can have over here the name, the center number, and the candidate number, right? And here we go. So I can use this, and that's how we do it. Done with this? We're done with this part as well. Let me save it, and okay, close it. Yes, save it, and close this as well. Next, you are going to extract a summary report showing the number of salaries for the catering employees. To calculate the amount paid, the rate of pay is multiplied by weighting. So again, we make another query through the query design. Now what we have to do is we need to select from all the records only the details on the employee with the job code is greater than 53 and less than 80, where the job code is greater than 53 and is less than 80. This is what it says, yes, right? Check it. Fine, it's working fine. Next, create a field call pay which is calculated at runtime. This must calculate the rate multiplied by weighting. So I have to add the weighting and the rate. Okay, runtime calculation basically are done in queries at runtime. Runtime calculations do not temper your original table. This is why we use them. They will be in your query, but they will not be in your table. So create a new field at runtime, which is known as pay. Use a colon, parenthesis for that, square parenthesis, not curly parenthesis, EI. Weighting should be multiplied by rate. Let's check it out. Fine, it's working. Next we have to do is select only the field's pay number, F name, S name, right? Qualification, description, qualification and description, right? And pay, we have the pay. Create a group report grouping the data by qualification. So I'll save this with the same name as the report. This was for the screen dumps that I've taken. So I'll save this as this name, rates of pay, and I need to make a group report, and we make a group report through the report wizard, if you remember. So I need to select rate of pay, and from here I need to select the pay number, F name, S name, description and pay, description and pay, right? Next, okay, do you want to add in grouping levels? Yes, create a group report grouping by qualification. So sorry, I did not add qualification, so I need to group by qualification. Next, in each group detail show pay number, F name, S name, description and pay. So we do have that, the pay number, F name, S name, description and pay. Next, in each group footer calculate the total pay for the group. We'll do this afterwards. So next, ascending, descending, I don't see it right now. So next, and finish. Fine, we have this. We just need to make some adjustments. Well, I always prefer using the outline view it helps you to adjust as well at the same time. So what I can do is I can reduce this bit, I can take this bit here, take this bit here, take this bit here, and take this bit here. Fine. Bit more. There you go. Yeah. I can use more. I have enough space to do that. So here we go. Now I can display my pay over here easily. You can see that. So okay, now what we have to do is we have to calculate the total pay for the group. Total pay for the group. So I simply click here and I'll say total pay for the group. Right? It shows the individual, but we don't. In each group footer calculate the total pay. So we have done that. In each group we have the total for them. Right? Add the title list to the report. Ensure that the subtotals and the report total are bold font. So make it bold. Right? And report bold. Right? And we're done with this part as well. Right. Add the title this, and we've printed it. Right. A new version. First of all, let me save it and close this. Right. A new version of this report must be created without personal details, without personal data visible. The journal manager requires all names to be blacked out and individual pay to be removed without changing the totals. Copy the report at step 18 into a new copy. Change the title to this. So what I'll do is, this was the one, so I'll simply try to copy this. I will paste it and I'll change the name as it says over here to this. Here we go. I have a new report now which says rate and summary. As you can see here, this is the new one that I have created. Catering. For that, open this and open this in layout view. Now what we have to do is remove the employees names by selecting the background of only the names to black. Remove the employee names. So the names have to have layout. The best way is go to properties and change the back color of the background to black so that it's not visible. Right? Right. It's a bit visible because the font is not black, so the best way is that you make the font as well black. The font color, make it black as well. Now it's not visible at all. Right. Next, remove the individual pay figures by making these invisible. Individual pay figure, ensure all other parts of the report are visible. Save the report. Okay, individual pay figures by making these invisible. Properties and visible. We have to make them no, not invisible. Right. Oops, didn't work. Let's see why. Properties. I made it visible. No. Okay, we can make them invisible. First of all, let's do it again. Let's try to do this in the design view. Pay should be visible. No. Okay, it's not visible. and I think so even this should not be visible. Even this. Here we go. They're not visible anymore, and even this should not be visible. Individual pay. I think so. We don't have to make these as invisible because it doesn't say so. So let's leave it. It doesn't say to make the subtotals and the totals invisible, so we'll leave that. Next. Okay, we're done with this part as well. We've done this part. Save and print this report. So we will save and we'll print this report. We printed it, right? I just have to be sure that you have your name, center number and can number present in this printout. Okay, and you can place this, save and print this report. Obviously you had that before because this was the same report you created above here. So I'll close this now. Next, you have been asked to prepare a graph for the general manager comparing the number of employees to the average pay, comparing the number of employees to an average pay of the qualification. So let's make another one. Query design. Lots of query designs in this paper. Select from all the employees with the branch code is greater than 1 and less than 6, with branch code is greater than 1 and less than 6. Next, use this data to produce a graph comparing the number of employees and the average pay. Number of employees and average pay for these qualification. So we need to add the qualification. Run. Right. Okay. We have to add the average pay as well. So we need to have the pay. So we need to have weighting rate because we need the pay again. Remember this part? Yes, you do. So here we go. Weighting multiplied by rate. Yes. So now we have the following details. We have the pay, we have the qualification. So now what we have to do is we have to I'll save this as graph comparing number of employees and average pay, comparing the number of employees to the average pay. Give a relevant name so that you remember what this query is all about, otherwise you'll have a problem, right? Okay. So now let's go to create query wizard, simple query wizard, and we need to select comparing, yes, exactly, and we need to select the qualification and the pay. Next, summary, calculate the average and count the records, right? Next, finish. This is what we have, 1 2 3 4, right? And we need to produce a graph of this. Now this says make sure that the primary. Okay, now obviously we need to export this into Excel. Okay, and the question now says is, the question says make sure that the primary and secondary axes are appropriately scaled so that both data series are clearly visible. Ensure the graph is fully documented. Place your name, center, and number on the graph. Save and print this graph. So what we have to do is we need to make graph. We'll use the line is good for this. We can use this. We want the secondary to be visible. Right click, format data series, make secondary visible. Done. Now what we need is we have to even tell what these two are. So the red one, as you can see over here, the red one is the average pay. So I need to change series 2 into average pay. Okay, and I will change series 1 to series 1 is number of employees. Yes, I think so. I did opposite. Average pay. Red one is, let's see again. For 4 it's 1, and for 29,000. Right. So 29,000 exactly. It's average pay. This blue one is basically your average pay. I did it wrong. And the green and the red one is basically number of employees. So I'll type this number of employee. Oh. Go. This is what we have, and we can label them now. Layout. Average pay. Employees, and this is your location. Okay, and the graph should have heading. Does it say so? No. The question. Comparing the number of employees to average pay. I can name it as number of employees to average pay. So I can name this graph as not this one. Average pay. Here we go. What I'll do is I'll copy this. I'll paste it over here. Okay. Here we go, and I'll take a printout by having my name, center number and candidate number, which is already present in my header. Center number, candidate number, and name probably. Right. Done with this part. Close it. Don't need the values. Next part of the question. We're done with this. We come to Excel now. The manager wants you to calculate new rooms prices for each bedroom. So let's close this. I'll save it here, and close this. And now I need to do is open up n8room.csv. Here we go. Right. Let's do this. Next part. Oops. Okay. Use SilkBank package to load the file this. Give the names 42 as SGL, 42 as SGL, containing the 80 as DBL, 80 as DBL, and the cell containing 41 is BTH, 41 is BTH. Right. Give the cell containing 3 as FR and 2 as DV. Format all cells in row 7 and all columns. Format all cells in row 7. Here, this is the row 7. And all cells in column A to be center-lined, italic, and bolded. To be centerline, italic, and in bolded. Done. Right. In the column headed guests, enter formula which extracts the numeric value from the first character of the code. Okay. In the column headed guests, enter formula which extracts the numeric value from the first character of the code. The first character of the code is 2. So guests is equal to, we have to use the left function for this. It's a splitting string function that splits up the strings, the text, and get the first value out. Here we go. Right. Remember, this is not a value, it's text, because this 2 is appearing on the left hand side. Keep that in mind. You have to convert this to a value if you need it afterwards. Right? Always remember, numbers are always on the right hand side and text is always on the left hand side. So, in the column headed basic, enter formula that, over here, enter formula that if the second character of code is S, multiply guess by SGL. If the second character of the code is D, multiply guess by this. If the second character is B, multiplies guess by BETH. If the second character of the code is none of the above, it returns 0. You may instruction do this. No, we don't need to do that. So is equal to if mid. Since we are using the second character, we have to use mid. So if the second character is equal to S, then multiply guessed by SGL. Otherwise, if the second character of the code is D, is equals to D, then is D, then multiply guess by double. Otherwise, if the second character is equal to B, then multiply guessed by BTH. If the second character of the code is none of the above, return 0. So at the end, we will simply say comma 0 and we end the loop. Let's do comma 0. Okay, let's see. Mid is equal to S, comma this multiply this. If mid is equal to D, multiply this by this. Otherwise, if is equals to B, multiply C8 by BTH, otherwise 0. Let's see, somewhere the bracket that we have closed is wrong, so we have to see that. So there was a bracket problem, so now it works. Replicate the function. Here we go. Next part. In the column headed fridge, enter a formula that if the third character of the code is F, returns the content of FR. If the third character of the code is not F, return 0. So is equal to if as F returns the content of FR, otherwise 0. Right? Here we go. Next part. In the column head television, if the fourth character of the code is T, returns the content of TV. If the fourth character of the code is not T, returns 0. So if the fourth character of the code is T, in the column headed total, enter a format that adds basic fridge and television values in that room. Format the basic fridge television total columns to Sri Lankan LRK to decimal places. LRK to 2 decimal places. LKR, sorry. Right? Extract only the rooms where there is no fridge. So filter it out. Only those rooms where there is no fridge. Right? There is no fridge. Create a header column says room requiring a fridge, and a footer which contains your name, sender, candidate number. Okay, so file, we'll go to file, we'll go to print, page setup, header, custom header that says this, and footer that has your name, center number, and your candidate number. Right? Okay, and you take a printout of this. Next, save and print all the details of the extract to just page layout if necessary, so that the full page with single page wide. Make sure the contents are visible. Change the word to formula used and print this in landscape orientation. So what we do is control and the tilde sign which is below the escape tilde. Click here, double click, and file, print. We need to go to page setup, landscape, adjust to 1 page wide, and make it 2:3, and make it A4. And here we go. This is what we have, and take a printout of this. It fits on 1 page wide. Next, the manager wants to create hyperlinks from internal documents to link to various websites and to allow email messages to be sent. To do this, he has been asked you to prepare a test document to show the board directors. Using word processor package, load the file N8, right? Oops, doesn't open up in Word, so I'll just do it myself. Here we go. We have to open up this file. Oops, I'm sorry. So sorry. I just went. That's why don't go so fast. And try to put your files on the desktop. I didn't do that because my files are already there. But you should always do it. Put your files in a proper location such as your desktop. Although it's not a good idea to put things on the desktop, it makes your system really slow, but try to put them in a location where you can easily find them, or try to organize your files in a much more proper order. Obviously it will help you a lot. All files, and I need to import this. Right, yes. Now let's see what is next. Done. Add your name, sender number into this document. This doesn't say where, so we can put it in the header. So I can have again my name, I can have the center number, and I can have the candidate number. Right. Create a hyperlink within this document to link to Word website, to URL this, the following URL. Make a hyperlink to this link. Okay. Next, print out evidence showing the creation of this link. Make sure that your name, sender number, are visible. How do we show creation of this link, evidence of the creation of this link? Two ways. You can right click, you can edit the hyperlink, create a screenshot, and show that the link has been created, right? And you can save this in your evidence document. Always try to save your file as an Excel workbook, not as CSV. Otherwise you might get rid of your formulas and functions, so don't do that. So in recent I had my, there you go. So I have to take a screenshot and show an evidence of this. Of hyperlink created for the website. Right. Next, create a hyperlink within this document to link to the Word contact details to the URL. This copy. I'll take this down. Here you go. Next, print evidence showing a screenshot of the evidence. I've done that as well. Create a hyperlink within this document to link the word email to mailbox at this. Save it, follow this. So email them. Hyperlink, email address. This. Don't write. Right, and take a screenshot of this. Does it say subject or something? Default line subject should be this, and here you go. And here we go. Email link, sorry, not email created, link created. Right, done. make sure your name, prince and number is present in the printer. Thanks for joining me. I'll meet you for the next lecture, in which we'll solve October-November 2008, and that will be the 4 paper. Till then, take care. See you then.